happy to be here and to share some of the product learning with you. I'm going to talk in the next few minutes about conversational platform and how and why we grew from a messaging platform to a conversational platform. A month ago, I was in the Jerry Seinfeld show in Tel Aviv. I want to show you a short video, and I didn't think anything before with Jerry. So let's see.
I don't like talking on the phone. I don't like the ritual. Once you can text, well, let's talk about texting, okay?
Is that better?
Yes, because it's faster, even though it's making people more panicky. Somebody texted me TY the other day. You ever get TY?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I mean, what are we saving? What amounts of time that you're saving to watch a YouTube video of skateboarders bouncing their nuts off a railing?
Okay, so it's not me, it's Jerry Seinfeld, and it's clear that messaging is going to be the primary channel of any brand. Consumer loves it, and also brands will make it the primary channel. We also can see that consumers communicate a little bit different in messaging. They are lazy, they want to have fast solution to their problem, TY instead of thank you. He also gave another example, K instead of OK. They are saving even the one letter in order to save time and to be more efficient. So if messaging is going to be the primary channel, and we are already a messaging platform, why to move and to become a conversational platform? Okay, so I think that you also saw it in a run presentation in the main stage. And 20 years ago, I was not part of LivePerson. And what LivePerson offered is a chat window in all the big brands' website. A few years ago, we moved to apps. Brands develop their own apps. And LivePerson offered a messaging window inside the app. Although we think that messaging and chat is the same, for the brand, it's a totally different story and different operation. And now, when we are looking on the landscape, we see different types of conversational messaging apps, entry points for the consumer to start messaging with the brands. All the messenger and all the conversations are going to the same contact center, and this is another type of operation. So messaging, it's not enough, and now we need to grow and to become a conversational platform. So it's okay that it's a great consumer experience, and of course, for the consumers, they will have to use messaging instead of doing a voice calls or instead of sending emails, but now it needs to be also efficient for the brand. In order for the brand to make it a primary channel, it needs to be ROI positive. It needs to be efficient, and it needs to be clear. What is happening, because it's so easy and the consumer loves it, consumers are not searching the website, they are not using self-serve, they are not looking for a knowledge base, they're just starting to type. We, and also the brand, were very afraid that the messaging will cannibalize the self-serve and the knowledge base. So in order to prevent that, we understood that for us, the key challenge is understanding the intent. So if you saw the previous we came with the intent analyzer, and the idea was how we can understand the intent. By understanding the intent, we will be able to route the conversation not only to an agent as part of the messaging platform, we will be able to route it also to other channels, like the knowledge base, the self-serve, to differ between agent and a bot, and to route only conversation that needs human to the messaging platform. So, like we said, understanding the intent is very challenging. When we looked on the transcript, we saw, for example, when consumer just moved to a new apartment, is starting to tell a whole story about that. He just moved to a new apartment, but all he wants is to change his billing address or to schedule an engineer. So we had to be very smart and to understand what the consumer means, even when he doesn't type it directly. So the first challenge was understanding the intent, and after we came with the intent analyzer, the second challenge was smart routing. How we can route the ad to the right channel, how we can prevent conversation that does not require human touch to move to the relevant channels. So you will see that we divided the intents to different channels. Some are going to a deep links in the app, some are going to a self-serve, some are going to human, but some of them even going to a knowledge base. The second challenge was, in conversational platform, how we create the same consumer experience through all the channel. If he is going to the website, so he will have the same experience. He's going to the Facebook Messenger, he will have the same experience. He's coming from Line, he will have the same experience. The app, we needed to create the same experience for the consumer. Okay. Not only that we wanted to create the same experience, we also had to map all those entry points into a single identity. I want consumer that comes from the Facebook Messenger, consumer that are contacting us through the app or through the website to be in our system as a single identity. This was the third challenge of being a conversational platform. So first was to understand the intent. The second was to create the same consumer experience through all the channels. And the third one is to map all the interaction from the consumer, from the different channels, to one single identity. So after we developed the intent analyzer, we said, why not exposing those intent to the consumer? We allowed the brand to customize those intent inside a keyboard, and I will show you a short demo in a few minutes, and even not only to show an intent, if, for example, brands want to push a specific promotional, it will be able to display to the consumer in a very easy, simple way, because we wanted also that it will be very easy to the consumer, because you heard what Jerry said. The consumer want to be very simple, very clear. They just want to click on the intent without the need to type the message that they want. After coming with the intent and displaying the intent, now we are developing a new concept that calls mini app. A mini app, it's not just displaying the intent like pay my bill. We also wanted to, inside the intent, to enable the consumer to insert all the things that he needs in order to pay his bill. So it's now like, I want to pay my bill and route it to the right channel. Now, with the intent, with the message of I want to pay my bill, it will be able to insert all the information and to pay the bill immediately. The idea over here is to be efficient, to do everything in a simple way, in a very efficient way. So let's look on the demo. So this is the intent keyboard. You see over here that we picked around 15 intents that are most common on that specific account. For example, now we want to change his passport, so we are not routing it to a human. We're keeping everything as a conversational, but we route it to a self-served page. Now it's another thing. He has a problem with his SIM card. We route it to a knowledge-based page instead of a human. So we keep everything conversational like the consumer wants, but we are not cannibalizing those channels and route it to a human. The same, he wants to schedule engineer, we can automate it very easily. And when you want to dispute a charge, we understand that this is a conversation for a human, so we route it to a human. So it's not only the intent keyword, it's also autocomplete that we can support, and what's great about it is that because it's messaging, and we keep all the history, we can divide the conversation per topics, we can enable the consumer to search, and we can enable him to see previous conversation and to understand better what had happened.